first, let's review. What do nouns mean? Do you remember? Nouns are people, places, things, and ideas. What you can do is stop the video and search for my other videos on nouns that focus on nouns in general. The name is Nouns 2.1. So nouns can be in different categories or groups. For example, there can be common nouns or proper nouns. There can be singular nouns or plural nouns. Another group are abstract nouns or concrete nouns. A fourth group can be collective nouns or possessive nouns. So today in this lesson, we're going to focus on one of those groups of nouns, singular and plural nouns. Singular nouns mean one person, one place, one thing, and one idea. For example, a boy. That means one boy. A school. That means one school. Some more examples of plural nouns. So box becomes boxes with an ES. Why? Because there's an X at the end of box. Watch, WATCH, becomes watches with an ES at the end. Why? Because it ends in a CH. Dish, DISH, becomes dishes with an ES because it has an SH at the end. Waltz, the dance, WALTZ, becomes waltzes with an ES because there's a Z at the end. And last, bus, BUS, becomes buses with an ES at the end because of the S at the end of bus. So when do we know when to add an S at the end? You add an S at the end of nouns that you want to become plural when it has all the other consonant endings. If it does not end in an X, CH, SH, S, or Z, then you add an S. So some more examples. Table, TABLE, becomes tables with an S because it ends in an E. Rock, ROCK, becomes rocks with an S because it ends in a K. Building, BUILDING, becomes buildings with an S because it ends in a G. Dad, DAD, becomes dads with an S because it ends in a D. And bottle, BOTTLE, becomes bottles with an S because it ends in an E. So why do we add S to all of these? Because they do not end in an X, CH, SH, S, or Z. Now, in another video, I had mentioned that English is a very complex language. Now, with these plural rules, English does have some exceptions. Now, I do have a video that's name is Y changes to I and other irregular nouns that you can watch. It explains those exceptions to the rules. So let's review. Nouns are people, places, things, and ideas. Nouns can be singular or plural. Now, for plural nouns, it means more than one, but what do? We can add an S or an ES at the end of words. Now, we add an ES when a word ends in an X, CH, SH, S, or Z. All other words, you add an S to the end. Now, for singular nouns, that means only one. One person, one place, one thing, or one idea. There's no change to the end. So let's practice. I've written down a list of words. I want you to think about which ones are singular and which ones are plural nouns. For example, baby, B-A-B-Y. Singular or plural? Which? You're right, it's singular. It means one baby. The next is houses. H-O-U-S-E-S. Is that singular or plural? You're right, it's plural. Why? Because there's an S at the end. Birds, B-I-R-D-S. Is that singular or plural? You're right, it is plural. Why? Because there's an S at the end. Next is hat, H-A-T. Is that singular or plural? Which one? Hat is singular. Why? There's no ES or S at the end of the word. What about box? B-O-X. Is that singular or plural? You're right, it's singular. Why? Because there's no ES or S at the end of that word. The last is tables, T-A-B-L-E-S. Is that singular or plural? You're right, it is plural because there's an S at the end of the word. Good job. So now I'm going to show you another paper that's going to help you to continue practicing and recognizing singular and plural nouns. So what are you going to do? You're going to look at the paper, and I want you to think about or write or say if the noun that I show you is singular or plural in the sentence. Are you ready? Please pause now. Did you get them right? Yes? No? Okay, well, Let's review some of the sentences. Number 1. Count the books, please. Now, books, B-O-O-K-S, is that singular or plural? That's plural. Why? Because it ends in an S. Number 2. We need one more plate. Is plate, P-L-A-T-E, singular or plural? Right. It is singular. Why? Because there's no S or ES at the end of the word. It means one plate. Number 3. There are birds in there. Birds, B-I-R-D-S, is that singular or plural? You're right, it's plural. Why? Because there's an S at the end of the word. Number 4. The car will not start. Car, C-A-R, is that singular or plural? You're right, it's singular. Why? Because it doesn't end in an S. Number 5. You have a new bicycle. Now, bicycle, B-I-C-Y-C-L-E, singular or plural? You're right, it's singular. Why? Because there's no S or ES at the end of the word. Wonderful job. I want you to continue to practice. Now, I have to show you one more paper. Thank you so much for watching. Please pause now.